What's up YouTube? This is Antonio here with Seeking Out Card Gaming, and I'm just going to introduce you guys a deck that I played at the German Open this past Sunday. Quick recap. I went 6-3 in Swiss. I decided to play Pure Striker. I could have done better, but like later into the rounds, I just wasn't thinking straight, and I made a couple misplays that cost me a game. So I'm just going to introduce you guys a list that I played. Two of the other guys I went with, they played something similar. And I'm just going to go into a little bit about why I made the choices that I made. So I'm going to start off with the main deck. I started off with 3 Sky Striker Ace Ray. I mean, you kind of have to play 3. So there's no need. Then for the hand traps, 3 Ghost Ogre. This was because going second, you don't want to be blown out against Goki, so you need to play several hand traps that are good against them. And since here in Europe we don't have summon sorcerers, we don't have to worry about all that other ridiculous stuff that Goki can do. And then 3 Ash Blossom. Even though she's subpar in some matchups, she's still one of the better hand traps, and I decided to max out on her. And then MVP of my hand traps was triple DD Crow. So right before the event, we were gonna play MST instead of DD Crow, and we thought long and hard about it, and we ended up deciding to main DD Crow. And I have to say, this card is amazing. A lot of people were just caught off guard by it. Like some of the amazing things I did with it is against Invoked, he had his Invocation Engrave, and he wanted to shuffle it back to Alistair, and I just DD Crowed the Invocation, for example. That was pretty dope. Or also just DD Crowing engages when people want to add him back with Kagari. Or else, what else was pretty dope was against Goki round 1. He wanted to add back Ibli with Firewall, and I just decrowed his Ibli, and he couldn't extra link me. And Decrow really just caught a lot of people off guard, and that's why I think this card is a really amazing hand trap right now. Then I played 1 Veiler. It's a little random, but I only had 2 impermanents, and we all decided to play 3 impermanents, and because I didn't want to spend a ton of money for the 3rd one, I just played a Veiler instead. And it didn't really make a difference if it was impermanence or a Veiler. So that's it for the monsters. For the spells, triple engage, self-explanatory. Triple Widow Anchor, no need to explain. Triple Hornet Drones. And then double field spell. This card is actually pretty good. I did lose to Crusadia. However, because Crusadia, it doesn't matter what you have in your back row, they just give you a Kaiju and you can't do anything. So once you realize you play against Crusadia, this card is actually even MVP, because you're just going to try to pop your Link monster at the end of the turn, and it makes it for an extreme grind game on your part, but that's just the only way you can get around it all. So and I just like 2 because it adds consistency to open Ray or open starter cards, so I really enjoyed 2. And then I played 2 multi-rows because, recycling your resources is pretty good. And also being able to activate its effect so that they can't chain to your utility spells is also pretty dope. I wouldn't play 3 because it would be bricky, because there's sometimes where you only multi-roll and you have no way of actually going off. So having multi-roll in your starting hand without a way to keep going is kind of bad. Then for the utilities, we played 1 Jamming Waves, 1 Afterburners, 1 Eagle Booster, 1 Shark Cannon, and 1 Hercules Base. So Shark Cannon is pretty good in theory and also in the mirror match. I just didn't play a single mirror match. That's the only reason I couldn't abuse this card. But it's still pretty good. Against Invoked, if they activate Invocation, you just hit their Alistair in the graveyard. And then if they have the Link one, they have to use the Link one, or their Invocation just fizzles. So it still has some other good uses. Hercules Space is just necessary in the grind game, which, you go into a lot with most decks, so it's actually pretty good. And then Eagle Booster is just good against Goki if you go first, so they cannot extra link you and break your link monster. And then Afterburners and Jamming Waves are just really good utility cards. What I like doing a lot is just like the multi-roll where they can't react to this and you just get 2 free destructions. That's pretty dope. And then 3 Terraforming. We decided on this because we wanted to really have max consistency in getting to a starter card such as a field spell, and this is why we decided on 3 Terraforming instead of 2 Terraforming and Upstart, because with the Terraforming you at least know what you're getting, where with Upstart you don't know what you would draw. And then 1 Reinforcement of the Army. So, and then for our traps, we play 3 Mind Crush main. This card was okay. After the tournament, I'd play MST over this, inside this, or just not play it at all, because like opening it is good, but against like decks going, some decks going second, it's not as good, and like opening in multiples is amazing. However, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like this card was utilized to its maximum potential this weekend. And then finally, 2 Impermanents. So that's it for the main deck. The extra deck is pretty standard for the most part. So triple Kogari, triple Shizuku, double Hayate, 1 land for Rinkus. So the idea behind this is when you steal an opponent's monster and you have a way of sending it away with the field spell or multi-roll, that you can link it away into something generic and still have your main monster zone clear to activate your spells. 1 Cerberus. So this was a last minute change. Originally it was going to be a Linkuriboh, but we kind of wanted a way to like utilize your opponent's monsters if you want to link into a Link 2 instead of linking off the token. So we decided for this. It never came up. So I think there was one time I rather would have had a Linkuriboh. So, but yeah, Nightmare Service never really came up for me. 1 Phoenix, never used it, but it's still pretty good because it outs floodgates such as Imperial Order, and I still think it's necessary because of that. 1 Ningirisu, so you can out the mini lock with the Phoenix Goblin. Never made it, but in theory it's still pretty good. And then for the 2 Link 4s, Boral Sword for going for game, and Topologic. It's hard to make them since we don't play Ibli or Sky Blaster, but I still did make Boral Sword twice to win, and Topologic I made once so that my opponent couldn't really make a board. And then for our cherry target, we played 1 Isold. So that was it for the extra deck, and for the side deck, we played Triple Reaper. For going second in the mirror or going second against Goki. I only sided in once going second against Goki. I did not see it. I didn't play any mirrors, so. Then 3 Called by the Grave. Never really sided this in. I just went along with it because my friends said they were playing it, so I just threw it in. I only sided in against stuff I didn't know what else to side in. Triple Share Drive. This is for the Trickstar in the mirror because it's also good going second. I did side in every time I played against Trickstar Sky Striker, and even against Invoked, it's pretty good too. 3 Evenly for decks that give you cancer, such as True Draco, Altergeist, Stun. I did play against Stun and Altergeist, so I did side them in, and they actually came pretty good. And then finally, 3 Heavy Storm Duster for going first against the Mirror, going first against Trickstar Sky Striker, going first against Altergeist or Stun, and these are pretty good. I sided these in a lot too. And the reason you play these over like Twin Twister or so is because if they have Imperial Order, you can still out it later on in the game. So that was the deck that I chose to play at the German Open. I did get my invite, so that's a good thing. And please check out the rest of our videos on our channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.